Right now, the British royal family mired in one of its biggest crises in history. But if you thought the Prince Andrew scandal was the end of the changes that are coming under King William V, let me tell you, you are wrong.
Harry has allegedly demanded a Dina audit after William claimed control of Diana's entire jewelry collection. And if this extraordinary palace rumor is true, then the brothers are no longer fighting merely over memories, titles, or wounded pride. They are staring directly into the most explosive question imaginable. Who has the legal and moral right to possess the treasured pieces that once belonged to their mother? Let us be absolutely clear before this royal storm gets any wilder. No official Dina audit has been announced, and there is no verified evidence that William has claimed Diana's entire jewelry collection. This is a fictional, rumor-driven scenario built around the bitter inheritance battle now being whispered about. Yet the idea has struck such a nerve because Diana's jewelry is not simply a collection of expensive stones locked inside a palace vault. Every ring, bracelet, watch, and pair of earrings carries a memory, a photograph, and a connection to the woman both brothers lost when they were still painfully young. The imagined confrontation reportedly began when Harry received word that William's representatives were compiling a private inventory of pieces associated with Diana, including jewelry already worn publicly by Catherine and items believed to remain under tightly controlled royal supervision. And according to the rumor, Harry immediately questioned whether the inventory was being created merely for historical protection or whether William was quietly positioning himself as the permanent guardian of everything connected to Diana's royal life. That distinction reportedly changed the entire temperature of the dispute because protecting family treasures is one thing, but claiming exclusive control over them is something else entirely. Harry, already convinced that palace machinery favors the heir, allegedly demanded documentary proof showing exactly where every item came from, who inherited it, and whether it belonged personally to Diana or merely remained part of the wider royal collection. Then came the demand nobody supposedly expected, an independent audit supported by Dina testing wherever biological traces could legally and ethically be examined. The proposal was not necessarily about questioning Diana's maternity, as sensational online claims immediately suggested, but about establishing provenance and stopping disputed objects from being absorbed into a royal archive without transparent verification. That demand allegedly horrified William's circle. From William's imagined perspective, the request was not a serious conservation measure, but an inflammatory stunt that risked turning Diana's private belongings into laboratory evidence. William supposedly argued that established records, photographs, wills, and family testimony should determine provenance, not a procedure that could damage priceless objects and drag deeply personal material into another public spectacle. Behind palace doors, however, the refusal only fueled Harry's suspicion that something important was being concealed. And this is where the fictional dispute becomes almost unbearably personal. Harry reportedly believes William has inherited more than physical access. William has inherited the institution's authority to decide which version of Diana survives. Catherine can appear wearing famous pieces, and the moment is described as a dignified tribute, while anything associated with Harry or Meghan is instantly examined for commercial motives, publicity calculations, and hidden messaging. In Harry's eyes, that imbalance allegedly proves the jewelry fight is really a fight over ownership of Diana's image. William's side, meanwhile, supposedly sees the situation in completely opposite terms. The Prince of Wales allegedly believes Diana's legacy must be protected from exploitation, preserved for future generations, and separated from entertainment deals or publicity campaigns. He is rumored to regard Harry's audit demand as another attempt to force a private royal matter into public view, knowing that even the threat of scientific examination would produce global headlines before lawyers could establish whether such testing was possible. Then came the detail that allegedly pushed the argument beyond repair. Harry was said to have requested a temporary freeze preventing any disputed Diana pieces from being worn, transferred, exhibited, or photographed until the inventory was independently reviewed. That would potentially place Catherine's access under scrutiny and transform every future appearance into evidence in an imaginary inheritance war. William allegedly rejected the proposal immediately, insisting Harry had no authority to freeze objects he could not prove were his. The question now consuming Montecito veto is not simply whether the rumored Dina audit could proceed, but who would finance a prolonged legal confrontation over Diana's jewelry, because an independent examination of royal records, private inventories, photographic archives, and disputed heirlooms could require a team of specialists with access to objects the palace has guarded for decades. Harry allegedly wants every necklace, bracelet, ring, watch, and pair of earrings examined before William can exercise permanent control, while William reportedly views that fictional demand as a calculated attempt to force palace secrets into public proceedings. If outside financiers supported the challenge, disclosure could become the most dangerous weapon of all, compelling both sides to produce private correspondence, historical valuations, transfer records, and messages discussing which pieces Catherine or Meghan Markle could wear. Every document could reopen old wounds, and every missing record could generate another accusation, leaving Diana's memory trapped inside a battle neither brother could completely control. As that imagined legal storm gathered, attention shifted toward Althorp, where Princess Diana rests on the secluded island within the Oval Lake. Harry's rumored position was that any credible audit must include objects preserved by the Spencer family. Yet William allegedly rejected turning the sacred estate into an evidence site. Charles Spencer had chosen that isolated resting place to protect Diana from relentless intrusion, making the prospect of investigators arriving with cameras, scanners, and collection lists seem almost grotesque. The situation became even more sensitive after photographs involving Archie and Lilibet revived arguments about privacy, remembrance, and whether intimate family moments were being shared too publicly. Critics accused Harry and Meghan of using emotional connections to Diana, while supporters insisted that Archie and Lilibet had every right to understand their grandmother's story. Prince William, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and Prince George were dragged into the debate when observers began comparing how both households marked private milestones and honored the same woman through completely different public choices. William guards his mother's grave with absolute silence. The controversy then moved toward the Diana Award and its approaching anniversary events, where the possibility of William and Harry appearing beneath Diana's name created another impossible confrontation. Organizers allegedly feared that the jewelry dispute could overwhelm the charity's celebration of young leaders, while Harry supposedly wanted the audit resolved before any joint appearance. Meghan Markle was rumored to want clarity concerning pieces associated with Diana that she had previously worn, but William's fictional boundary remained immovable. No disputed jewelry would appear at an official event until ownership was documented. Catherine could therefore face the same restriction, turning a private argument into a visible royal frieze that photographers would analyze through every missing brooch, bare wrist, and carefully selected necklace. What should have celebrated service risked becoming a silent courtroom played out across a red carpet. The final divide was brutally simple. Harry allegedly believed transparency would protect Diana from institutional control, while William supposedly believed restraint would protect Diana from exploitation. One brother demanded scientific verification. The other trusted wills, archives, and established custody. One threatened legal action. The other threatened to withdraw from shared events. King Charles was imagined to have urged both sides to stop before the dispute damaged the monarchy, yet neither son appeared willing to surrender. No Dina audit, ownership claim, or palace confrontation in this storyline is verified, but the fictional battle exposes why Diana's possessions remain so emotionally powerful. They are not merely jewels, but fragments of a mother whose absence still defines both sons. And if that vault ever opened under legal pressure, the greatest shock might not be who owned the collection, but what private promise Diana left behind and which brother had known about it all along.